evening and welcome to News Channel 8. I'm Glenn Drake in for Jerome Aegean. In our top story tonight, the second recent most wanted suspect has turned himself in. Here's Melody Rames with more.
Domestic Violence Unit detectives on St. Croix reported that wanted suspect Sylvie Mystic Clark was arrested at about 11 a.m. on Tuesday, September 26th, one day after police issued a wanted poster and sought the community's assistance in locating him. Clark was arrested after appearing in court regarding a restraining order that was brought against him. Superior Court marshals held Clark and turned him over to police. Wanted posters were issued for Clark and Brown on Monday. Detectives said they had been searching for the men for several weeks in connection with unrelated domestic violence cases. The second wanted suspect surrendered to police on Wednesday, September 28th at about 11 a.m. Police said media exposure pressured Carl Christian Brown to turn himself in. Christian Brown was charged with aggravated assault and battery domestic violence and assault second-degree domestic violence. Police said that he strangled, punched, and pushed the mother of his child. Police issued a wanted poster on Christian Brown on Monday after searching for him for several weeks.
In other news, earlier today, union members who were recently or previously locked out by the Wyatt contractors under Hovenza have seemed to reach some type of settlement. News Channel 8's Wes Mall has the details. Wes?
Thank you very much, Glenn. I've kind of lost count, but I believe we are around day 10, possibly 11, of the Wyatt/Hovenza lockout. We now have breaking news about the situation. Last I was here, the day before yesterday, missed the day because of the central problem, that I said that there was light at the end of the tunnel, and it looks like the insurance issues had gotten a little tighter. Now here with Senator Alicia Chucky Hansen, who together with Attorney Green and also a couple of workers from Wyatt, Mr. Maturin, and also
Mr. Thomas.
And Mr. Thomas. We will let you know now what's going on after the bargaining table. First of all, Senator Hansen, as you introduce Attorney Green, what does this mean for your constituents, the community, and these Wyatt workers who feel that they've been unfortunately treated?
Well, certainly I wanted to make sure that these workers, particularly Hovenza, who is the main source of this subcontracting out to Wyatt, understand clearly that my people were not going to remain outside here without political representation and legal representation. Certainly, we came out. I had a meeting with them yesterday. The attorney was introduced. I am so happy that Attorney Green just came to our rescue at no charge. He's a friend of mine. I asked him to come out and help. Let him show these people that they're not going to abuse our people without knowing that they're going to go up a legal battle if necessary. He has advised me and will continue to advise me in areas relative to what can be done to straighten up and strengthen all these loopholes in our laws to prevent this sort of treatment here in our people in the Virgin Islands. And therefore, I am very grateful to him. I'm thankful for all my constituents who decided they want Chucky to be part of this.
Okay, well, here we go. Now we're going to talk to Attorney Green and two Wyatt employees and tell you the final decision, which could possibly mean the end of this lockout. Yes, Attorney Green, please tell us what happened.
Yes, Wes, thank you. Well, what happened is, I'll let Mr. Maturin and Mr. Thomas share any specifics they want to, but we've seen history yet again repeat itself with this refinery. They think this round is over? Well, it's not, because I'm proud to see Senator Hansen standing up again for the people. You know, she's fabulous. Whether it was yellow cedar back when the airport years ago was putting dust all over people, not relocating people properly, and she came into that issue and helped out. Every time she's standing with the people, and I'm proud to stand with her and people like Mr. Thomas and Mr. Maturin. What we need to be doing now, and we are going to be doing, is looking at a fix of these legislative loopholes and problems in our law where we let this corporation, Hovenza LLC, Wyatt, and all the others continue to abuse the people of the Virgin Islands and do so much injustice again and again. You know, the first mistake to make is think any of these companies have a heart. The only thing that makes these corporations tick is the money that they can come and loot out of here. They get major tax advantages. We all know it. But why is it they're taking the money off island? Why is it they don't hire well-qualified local workers, ready, willing, and able to work, but they apply and they're denied? They bring people from the States, pay them per diem, free transportation. When will it stop? Well, a message to you, Hovenza. We've got a long memory, and we're coming for you. Why is it that you turn out the older workers when you do a mass layoff and you discharge people because of their age? Or anyone who steps up and has the courage to challenge you, you want to blackball them from your refinery. Now, in closing, may I say one more word?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Wes. About this lockout. You know, you think about the way these companies, Hovenza and their affiliates in the States, look and compare the way these companies operate in the States as compared to the injustice they do here. This lockout, they denied these good men and these women who stood out here in the heat all their benefits, all their pay, bread from their table, clothing, important things for their children, because they wanted to force them to come to terms through economic necessity. But what they did is improper. And you look at American Airlines and the way they operate in the States, or any of these companies Hovenza has that it's related to, and they don't lock people out in the States. They let them keep working so their workers can reach fair terms. The American Airlines planes don't stop flying when they're in contract negotiations. They don't lock the pilots out. And it's insane to think that these gentlemen are going to do some harm to themselves or the refinery that they built and their fathers and mothers and family built, and claim that you have to lock them out. It is shameful. Shame on you.
Wow. Wow. Looks like I was looking at myself in the mirror for a second. Wow. You brought it home, Attorney Green.
Thank you, Wes.
Wow.
And
Thank you.
I'm proud of you and Senator Hansen and all these gentlemen and ladies that stood here to make this message. And we're coming again.
All right. Well, we still haven't heard, believe it or not, if the lockout is still going. I mean, we did hear a lot of morality issues back there, and also Senator Hansen. But now, Mr. Maturin, right?
Yes, Mr. Maturin.
Is the lockout over?
Well, right now they had a vote, and the people voted, most of the people voted yes to return to work on this contract, which they have right now.
When will you be going back to work?
Well, they said they don't know exactly when we're going back to work. They're going to call us by phone, or we can listen over the radio or the TV to know when we can come back to work.
You could watch TV and find out?
Yes.
Well, what's his name? Troy Parker, the guy who zoomed past us a couple of times. He hasn't called this reporter in 2 weeks that you've been doing this. But you think he's going to contact me to let you know when you're getting back to work? That's good wishful thinking.
Well, also I want to thank Attorney Green and Chucky Hansen for coming to our aid.
Okay.
Because that I was looking forward for. And I see that they mean business.
Yeah.
Because a lot of injustice has been done.
Any other senators been out here to help you?
We had Bert Bryan who stopped by.
Bert Bryan, he hasn't been a senator in decades.
He's not a senator, but he stopped by.
That's okay, I know it's hot out here. Let me, all right, Mr. Johnson, you wanted to say something.
Mr. Thomas.
Mr. Thomas, told you it's hot out here. Yes, sir.
Yeah, first of all, I would like to thank
Senator
Hansen and Attorney Green for championing the cause with us. And as to right now, Wes, I'm not prepared to comment on what is going on.
We need some final words, Senator, to put this on a wrap then.
Very well.
Yes.
The abuse and the lack of sensitivity towards these workers is clear, because when they claim, Hovenza claims that they have to lock out the workers because of security issues, it makes no sense whatsoever. Because are they suggesting that they're going to go inside, blow up the company and kill themselves? These men and women have their wives, they have their husbands, they have their children to live for.
It's an insult almost.
It is an insult. But they're doing it so while the negotiations are taking place, it will be in a position of weakness, because they are pressured, because they don't have the jobs, they can't get the money to feed their families and keep their mortgages and rents going. Okay. And I'm telling you, this is going to have to stop.
Senator Hansen, thank you. Mr. Thomas, thank you. Mr. Maturin and Attorney Green, you brought it home, that's for sure. In front of the gigantic refinery, one of the world's biggest, but believe it or not, Every revolution starts small, and this revolution, my friend, is just beginning. At Hovenza, lockout finally over? I put a question mark on that one. I'm Wes Small for News Channel 8.
Well, Governor John DeYoung has some information regarding the most recent broadband initiatives and how it will affect the territory.
I took the opportunity, since I was in Washington, D.C. for some other meetings, to reach out to the Department of Commerce and NTIA and NOAA to sit down and talk with them about the recent request they put in for a corrective action plan and the suspension that they were considering with respect to VINGN and our grants. As everyone knows, we were one of the very few destinations that received all 4 BTOP grants issued by the Department of Commerce with respect to broadband infrastructure investment, approximately $67 million, which when you couple with the $32 million that we got in local funding through bond proceeds, it's a tremendous investment and therefore very important that we maintain the relationship. So I reached out and had a meeting with Al Boshelty, the vice chair of the board of VINGN, and also the individual that we've appointed to be the chairman of the Business Operations Committee of the board to assist in implementing the corrective action plan. We met at the Department of Commerce with the director, Dr. Wilhelm, with Amy Meacham, who's in charge of overseeing the grants, and also with one of the deputy undersecretaries to really discuss our program and what we're doing. Most important thing we wanted to communicate to them is that we will submit by October 3rd the corrective action plan, that we have every intention of meeting that date, and that we believe that we put measures in place to be able to address some of their concerns. And their concerns really has nothing to do with respect to our business plan and the whole premise of the VINGN and the broadband infrastructure investment. They're fine with that. Their concerns had to do with organization and making sure that we had enough bodies in locations within the company to make sure that the right administrative procedures were in place in terms of procurement, financial affairs, and records. And that's a very valid issue and a very legitimate concern. So we're beginning to populate the organization with individuals that have the expertise that are necessary to be able to address those concerns.
Coming up, we got your Crime Stoppers, and stick around, we got your winning lottery numbers. We'll be right back. Two St. Thomas and St. John robbery suspects are in custody tonight. VIPD spokesperson Melody Rames has the story.
Police on St. Thomas and on St. John arrested 2 men, charging them with grand larceny in unrelated incidents. One man stole from his employer and the other suspect robbed a hardware store. Both men were arrested on Wednesday, September 28. On St. Thomas, Kadeem Barnes, age 22, who's from New York, was arrested at about 2 a.m. Wednesday. Barnes was found inside the hardware store and admitted taking a laptop and other items. Barnes was also charged with trespassing and third-degree burglary. His bail was set at $61,000. And on St. John, Glanville Frazier, age 45, of Estate and 9, was arrested shortly before 7 p.m. Frazier admitted stealing 8 tires from a trailer belonging to Paris Car Rental, where he is employed. Frazier also sold some of the tires. He was charged with possession of stolen property, and his bail was set at $45,000. Both suspects were remanded to the Bureau of Corrections, pending further court action.
Here's your Wednesday Crime Stoppers. Here's Judy Frakes.
This is Judy Frakes with your weekly Crime Stoppers report. Crime Stoppers is asking for your help to solve the following crimes. If you know something, say something, as law enforcement cannot control crime without your help. On St. John, on Monday, September 19th at about 7 p.m. in the area of I-9, Mr. Jermaine Boynes got into an altercation with another male who accused him of having stolen his cell phone. They got into a scuffle, and Mr. Boynes ended up being stabbed several times and had to be transported to the St. Thomas Schneider Regional Medical Center. If you know anything surrounding these circumstances, call Crime Stoppers and let us know. Now, the suspect is being described as being black, slim, somewhere between 5'9" and 6 feet tall. He was wearing tan shorts and a button-down shirt at the time of the assault. And on St. Thomas, on Friday, September 2nd at about 7:35 p.m. in the area of Anna's Retreat, a male was robbed of over $100 in jewelry. Now, he fled on foot, and the suspect chased him. Another individual appeared and shot at the victim. We do know that the robber frequents the area of Anna's Retreat and is known to be armed and dangerous. The suspect is 25 years old, he's black, he's 5 feet 8 inches tall, and he weighs 155 pounds. On St. Croix, over the past several weeks, there have been numerous burglaries that have affected areas in the estates of Little Fountain, Belvedere, Castle Burke, Barren Spot, Strawberry, Salt River, and other Mid-Island communities all the way to La Valley. Perpetrators are breaking in between the hours of 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. and they're stealing various items, including electronics, jewelry, appliances, as well as many other things. If you have any information on these burglaries, contact Crime Stoppers and tell us what you know. Turning a blind eye is not the answer. We must all be a part of the solution. If you have information on these or any other crimes, you can call 1-800-222-TIPS or log on to our website at www.crimestoppersusbi.org. Your tips are completely anonymous, and our stateside operators speak several languages. If your tip leads to an arrest or recovery of stolen property, illegal drugs, or weapons, you will receive a cash reward of up to $2,500. This has been your weekly Crime Stoppers report.
If you happen to be in Christiansted today and you see the market square all lit up with tents and vendors, well, 21 years in business serving the community, the St. Croix Foundation. Wes Small speak with the president for the St. Croix Foundation or the executive director, Roger Dewey.
Thank you very much, Glenn. I'm here with Roger Dewey, and I want to say happy birthday to you.
Thank you, Wes. Thank you.
Now you can go have an old Milwaukee. He's 21 years old today, Roger. St. Croix Foundation here in Sunday Market Square, better known as Times Square, what have you. They're 21 years old today, and they're going to have a little semi-block party, if you will. Roger's going to tell us all about it. And anything else he'd like to tell out, because like I always say, him and his foundation, they've got wings waiting for them in heaven for helping out the community. Happy birthday, Raj.
Thank you, Wes. Thank you. Yeah, we're just celebrating our birthday here in the square from 5 to 7 tonight. We're inviting everybody to come down. We have Sayete Sun playing. We have food. We have just people can take a look at the inside of the Alexander Theater, which is going to be one of our upcoming projects. We're hoping to raise money to rebuild the theater, and we just want to share our successes of the 21 years with the whole community. Invite everybody to come down between 5 and 7 tonight.
Excellent. Raj, you know we're going to stay with you always as we come into Halloween and Thanksgiving and all that stuff. I know you've got some information for folks. You know, as the cameraman pans up and down here, it's good to see it. This area is being clean and so forth, taken care of. I see my old buddy out there his dad had a business here for years, trying to make believe he doesn't see me, but his name is Alberto. Wave to the people tonight. He is like the official sergeant at arms here in the Sunday Market Square. If anybody has a problem, Alberto will handle it. And here's, you see the motorcycle scooters there. St. Croix Foundation was very instrumental in getting those. Roger, you look around you, you're like a mother goose. You know, and I just want to say congratulations, you're making us a lot safer.
Thank you very much, Wes. And we appreciate the fact that the police department has chosen, we provided them that space rent-free, and they've chosen it as their downtown substation, and they're staying, and it just makes, it's important. We're all working together for the betterment of St. Croix. That's what it's all about.
Thank you. Roger Dewey, happy 21st birthday. If you need to get in touch with them with your business or donations, volunteers, advertising on the Sunday Market Square movie marquee, I'm getting my buttered popcorn ready. Who knows? 773-9898. Him and his crew will be happy to accommodate you. With Roger Dewey, downtown Christiansted, happy 21st, St. Croix Foundation. I'm Wes Small for News Channel 8.